My first guest is one of the most accomplished actors ever to appear on screen. His performances in landmark films such as Coming Home, Midnight Cowboy, Deliverance, and many more have earned him the Best Actor Academy Award, 4 Golden Globes, and the National Medal of Arts. He's also played a number of historic figures to great acclaim, including Howard Cosell in Ali, Franklin Roosevelt in Pearl Harbor, Justice Warren Burger in Roe versus Wade, even playing Pope John Paul II. And he's something pretty rare in Hollywood these days. He's an outspoken American patriot and a strong defender of the State of Israel. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Jon Voight. They love you, Jon.
They seem nice. I'm going over there.
But I love you too, so you can still sit up here. It's fine.
Oh.
What a joy to have you here. Thank you.
Yes, my honor to be with you all the time, Mike. Whenever we're together, I always feel, I'm with one of the special people of our country.
You are very kind, but I know of no one who has as much of a stellar place in the world of entertainment as you do. But you're outspoken in your love for this country and what it means to you. A lot of actors aren't so bold. They're so afraid that they're going to make somebody mad and maybe get canceled. Why are you unafraid to speak of your love for America?
Well, I have to say, I've been raised by people who love this country. And I went a little wayward. And I was raised Catholic, and I was a good boy for a little while. And then I got off track with some of the success that I had. And then I found out in my own way that God was real. Came to understand in my life, I'm very blessed to know this connection and to have a daily reminder of that, the presence in my life. And because of that, I've been surrounded by very, very good people who have similar feelings, and I've been able to have some guidance and do the things that I do. So when people say to me, how can you be so brave? And I say, well, listen, these people out there that are taking shots at me or whatever, or will or refuse me work or whatever it is, they're not people that I'm interested in impressing. I said,
how refreshing.
But this group, this one, that I'm concerned about. And I know what it is. Like when they say the fear of the Lord, people say, you have to have fear of the Lord. I know what I'm afraid. I'm telling you. I don't want to offend that one, the truth, that's me. So that's why I am the way I am. And I'm very fortunate to have, as I say, influences that are very strong. And I'm doing all the things I'm doing for the same reason you are, is I think of this generation. I know the way we've grown up, or, our generation has grown up, the blessing we had, the understanding of the blessing of being born an American. And I want that for the kids that are coming, and I want that for the kids now. I want to save these ones. I want to save them in their schools, in their homes. I want to do everything I can. So that's why I do what I do.
Well, I appreciate it, and I think a lot of Americans are deeply grateful that you use the amazing platform and voice that you have to boldly stand for this country. And you also have been very bold. You and I have been to Israel several times together.
Yes, indeed.
And your support of Israel is really unmatched. And that's something also that has impressed me, that with so many in the entertainment world, won't even do appearances in Israel.
Yeah.
You've been steadfast in support.
Very interesting stuff. Well, you know, along the same lines, I read the Bible. Now, I haven't read it as often as you have. and I perhaps have left a few things out of my reading. But I know what Abram was told by God about, you know, we're going to have this land for you, set aside your father's land and go to this land that I will give you, and you'll be a blessing to all nations. And I will bless those that bless you, and those that curse you, I will curse. Now, do you believe that?
I do.
Or is this a story?
Yes, I
do. So I say, this is the truth. The borders of Israel were set at that time in these conversations with Abram. And it's not appropriate to give away any portion of that. It's not even theirs to give away. It's God's gift. So any portion that was given away, like Gaza, this was out of line. And the karma that responded to that, you know, serious stuff. And as we have been together, you know, in Israel, it's a very small country, very small. They don't have land. They're surrounded by nations that have nothing but land. And these so-called refugees were not ingested by the surrounding area. They were initially Arabs anyway, most of them. And they could have been, you know, taken care of, but they weren't. And they're there because the forces in that area don't want a Jewish state. And this is the whole drama that I see. So I know we've got to speak up and do the best we can to protect Israel.
You've been such a strong voice for them. Jon, when I talk to people about you, I always say, Jon Voight, though he's a celebrated, multi-Oscar winning actor, one of the most iconic figures in the entertainment world for the past generation, yet in person, gracious, humble, kind. And I saw that when you and I were going to go to dinner in D.C., and I said, you know, Jon, I've got to go with my daughter and her family, all the kids, and I don't think you'd want to do that. And you said, oh, I'll come along. And I said, Jon, you don't understand. These are little kids. You said, I'd be glad to. And we went to dinner. You sat and took all three of those little kids. They were probably 4, 6, and 8 at the time, or 7. You put them in your lap. My gosh, you could not have been kinder, and you treated them as if they were yours. And it blew me away just how gracious and kind you were.
Well, that's wonderful. I love children. I love children. And you just saw a little bit of that. So, and your grandkids are very special, and they're real characters.
Can you babysit this weekend?
I really would be delighted to do that. But you told me, and your love for the children, and what you will do, how far you will go to take care of your kids, to give them the pleasure that they seek, is a great story. I want you to tell the Batman story.
I'll tell it. I won't show the picture. Sarah's youngest son, George, who has just turned 6 2 weeks ago, is a big Batman fan, so he had Batman pajamas. And a couple of years ago, just before Thanksgiving, he said, Papa, why don't you get some Batman pajamas and we can have a sleepover? And what do you do when a 4-year-old asks you to get Batman pajamas? You go get Batman pajamas. And believe it or not, they make them for guys my size. So we got the Batman pajamas, we did the sleepover, and no, you will never see those photos. Oh. You've got so many projects going. You have played the role of so many figures, from John Paul II. You've played Howard Cosell. No, but I'm thinking of some of the people that you've played. Warren Berger. Yet you do it so effortlessly. It's like you become that person. How do you manage to absorb into a character?
You know something? You have another guest on the show who people are going to see, who are going to do this gentleman, very talented fellow, is going to show you 2 presidents, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to sit in the back watching to see how he does it. Because, you know, he will tell you, and the process that he goes through is probably the same as what I go through. You gather information about your feelings about the person and what their energies are doing and how they physically express themselves and stuff. And you do a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you hit it right, you know. When they asked me to do Howard Cosell for the Ali movie, I was a very unusual choice. Because look what I look like, you know. But what I look like, if you see me, I'm tall as Howard Cosell was and thin. He had a pot belly. I had made a pot belly. But he had bad, you know, posture, and he walked like this, you know? And I knew that I could get the face because I liked makeup and stuff like that. I knew I could get the face and I could imitate his voice. And I started to feel this is the exact right choice. And sure enough, when I saw the film, I said, that's it. And I did it. I felt terrific because I walked on the set. Nobody knew. Oh, my business partner came down to talk to me about a project. And I was in the parking lot just taking a breather. And I was walking, and he drove in with someone, and he said, "Pardon me, we'd like to talk to Jon Voight. You know where he might be?" And I said to him, I walked over to him. And I said, "What do you want with Jon Voight?" and he tells that story over and over. And he, for 5 minutes, didn't know it was me. So then I knew I had it made.
That's an Oscar-winning performance if there ever was one. Well, I think all this audience shares my view, how grateful we are to Jon Voight for appearing with us tonight. And by the way, if you want to keep up with his latest projects, he is a busy guy still working all the time. And also to learn more about the upcoming biography, Reagan, and to view his must-see commentaries on current events, you can follow him at Jon Voight on Twitter.